We've just arrived in the beautiful mountain city of Bogota, Colombia, and we flew all the way here to try some fruit. Okay, that's not the only reason we're here, but when you see some of this fruit, you'll kind of understand why we wanted to come here. Colombia is one of the most biodiverse places on the planet, and like anywhere we travel to, we do three main things: find a local dish, find the best viewpoint, and find a place or two where we can learn more about the culture or the history. Pretty straightforward process, but I feel like that is the best way to enjoy a new place.
We'll also be meeting new friends and attempting to play Colombia's national sport.
We're Tony and Sarah, and we have a passion for travel and seeing the world. But now, thanks to FareDrop, we can do that by spending a lot less money. We already checked off one dream destination on our list and ventured to a new state that we hadn't been to before. Now, we're making our way to Colombia. Beer and explosives, cheese and hot chocolate, fruits that help fight cancer, all things we found that make Bogota an amazing place to visit. And throughout the video, we'll tell you how much this trip cost if you want to recreate it for yourself.
Okay, so we haven't been back east in quite some time, and I need to see my family, so I'm looking at flight deals out of the DMV area, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia. There are a couple good ones, and I think this one in particular has caught my eye. It is Bogota, Colombia. I think this would be a good opportunity to learn more about the culture and to experience a new country. Right now, I'm booking this through FareDrop on the 27th of May. That gives us a week in Colombia and a week to spend with my family, which I think is perfect. Okay, let's go to Colombia.
Let me catch you up on our travel day. But if you're thinking to yourself, wow, Sarah doesn't look as bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as she normally does, it's because I'm not. It's like 5 a.m. We are at DCA Airport in Washington, D.C. with a quick flight up to JFK this morning, a 6-hour layover, and then our flight to Bogota.
6-hour layover. We're like 5 hours in, but our flight should be boarding soon, so we should be on our way. Colombia, here we come. Well, we're ready. Spirits are going. We're going. We're getting there. One day. One day soon. Look at the leg space.
Look at me go. Look at me go.
Like, I'm short, so my legs don't even reach. We just arrived in Bogota. It's a little after 6:30, so it has been a long travel day, and it's not over. Immigration might be a little iffy because we haven't filled out the form, but in our defense, like, we tried multiple ways, multiple days to fill this thing out. It says our flight doesn't exist, which we're here, so it exists. So I don't know, hopefully that is something we can figure out, and it'll be pretty quick. We actually got through airport security fairly easily, and we didn't get lost in the airport parking lot this week because Sarah booked us a car to pick us up for $23.
Is the for booking?
Sí, ya.
New day.
Quick little room tour as we're accustomed to doing. We got 2 beds, a projector TV, which someone was already in here watching, and someone to put our clothes, and then there's a bathroom that's down the hall somewhere. Pretty nice. How much was this a night?
$19
a night. I'd show you more of this place, but we're pretty tired, so we'll see you tomorrow. We somehow keep picking places with the highest altitude. First was Mexico City, then it was Denver, Colorado, and now Bogota, Colombia. After all this, we're probably gonna end up at like Everest Base Camp or something, but I think this has prepared us for today because we can walk around pretty easily. We're pretty used to the elevation. But this morning, we're gonna start off with breakfast at a historic Bogota restaurant. It's called La Puerta Falsa. I think it's a good way to start our journey throughout the city with traditional Colombian food.
Tamales. We got dos tamales, and I got a cafe con leche, so coffee with milk, and Tony got a full chocolate, and I have no idea what that is.
Colombia does this thing where they serve coffee with cheeses, and I feel like that's something more places should do.
Says the lactose intolerant person.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. The meat is so good. It's like the most tender chicken.
These tamales are massive. I had an idea how big they were, and I didn't tell Sarah. That's my bad. So we ordered 2.
The steak.
mistake, but I think we can get through it.
Colombian coffee, hot chocolate, and 2 of the biggest tamales we've ever eaten later. And our first breakfast in Colombia cost 58,000 pesos. Breakfast this morning gave us a tiny taste of Colombian food and just how important meals are to the culture. That's going to be a theme throughout this video, including our next stop, which is one of Colombia's most important markets. I'm very excited about it because it's supposed to have some of the most vibrant and exotic fruits in the world. Well, whenever we touch down in a new city or a new country, I'm always like, man, I wish I had a local friend to show us around. And today we have a local friend to show us around. We hired a friend, and Aleja is going to be meeting us this morning to take us to the market and pretty much anywhere else that we want to go.
I'm Aleja. I'm Aleja, born and raised here in Bogota. I have lived here for basically my entire life. I love food, and you mentioned that you also love it.
Yes, we do as well.
So we're going to take you to a farmer's market. It's my favorite here in Bogota. In Colombia, we're pretty famous about the fruits. I don't know if you have heard that. Well, today, I would like for you to explore a little bit of my beautiful city, which is Bogota.
When we decided to travel to Colombia, one of the questions we got asked the most was, is it safe? So we're going to ask Aleja what she thinks of that same question.
Suggestion that locals are going to tell you is not give papaya.
Oh, great.
So it's literally don't give papaya. For us, papaya means opportunity. So it's don't give opportunity to nobody, because if you give it, somebody is going to come and cut it. So giving papaya can be like small things, like for example, carry your cell phone here on the back. Or for example, if you are in a street that is dark and alone, to be on your cell phone the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
Those kind of things. In Bogota, like it's not that you're on the streets and something is going to happen. We just prefer to be safe than sorry. No?
That's good,
So
yeah.
if you're going to use your cell phone, the best thing that you can do is just go into a spot, use your cell phone, put it again in your pocket, and keep on going.
It's good to know because we have this big camera.
I know.
So as far as getting around Bogota, Aleja has recommended using the Uber app, specifically getting a yellow cab in the Uber app. That is going to be the best, most reliable, fastest way to get around.
Just to tell you a little bit about history, the Spanish are going to arrive here in the last part of the 14,000s. And of course the place where they arrive is not going to be Bogota, they arrive by sea. They are going to arrive to a city that we call Santa Marta. Santa Marta is the first city of Colombia.
We've arrived at Paloquemao, but before we head inside, we're going to walk through the pop-up flower market.
We're going to be the second country in exportation of flowers to the world.
Wow.
First one is the Netherlands. And we are the #1 for America. So about 70% of the flowers that you get in the US for example, St. Valentine's, comes from Colombia. We have different varieties of flowers because Colombia is also the second most biodiverse country in the world. The first one is Brazil. But Brazil is massive.
Brazil is massive.
If you compare 1 square meter of Brazil with 1 square meter of Colombia, Colombia is more biodiverse.
Never seen so many fruits in one place, let alone so many different types of fruit, and they're all massive.
Colombia has 3 different mountain ranges running through it at different elevations, which leads to a lot of different types of produce, and you can find all of that in one place here at the market. So I think we're gonna try, honestly, as much as my stomach can fit.
We have head-size avocado.
Yeah.
In Colombia, we're going to have more than 80 different types. This is papelillo. Se llama papelillo. Es muy mantequilla. That one is more watery.
It is so great to have Aleja here with us because while we could have navigated this market on our own, we would have no idea about the heart and the stories that are behind each vendor.
So Doña Eugenia, she has been working here for 50 years.
Wow.
She's like a star here in the market because she was the first one that started the Chile market here in Bogota. In Bogota, near Bogota, we don't have chiles. That is the reason why our food is not spicy.
Before we get to the fruits, we're going to try some viche. Now, think of this as like an Afro-Colombian moonshine. It was recently legalized in the country in 2021, but apparently it's still hard to find.
When a fruit is not ripe, we call that is budge. So this one is created with a sugar cane that is not already ripe. Because of it is going to be a little bit acid and sweet. This one has different herbs. Okay? And they also make another one that is this one.
Oh, we smell it first. You just gotta go.
I was getting in touch with my soul.
That's a lot smoother than I thought it
Yeah,
would be.
that's
good.
It's really good.
Wow.
The vici was like a palate cleanser before we try some of this fruit. We're gonna start with this one, called Pepino Melon. To eat it, first you peel it, and then add some tahini and a little lemon mandarina juice.
We're just going to put a little bit of it
Okay.
and going to cut.
Oh my gosh. Like a cucumber, but is it a lime or?
It's a lime mixed with a tangerine. So it looks like a lemon, but it's not.
Aleja said Colombia has more than 400 fruits, which means a Colombian can eat a different fruit every day of the year and still wouldn't equal as many fruits as they have, which is insane.
This is a guava. We call it guava agria. Small first.
Yeah,
Don't cry.
it's very acidic, but like not too much, where you can't eat it. But you do this with your face.
We tried so many weird, exotic, and outright delicious fruits, but here's a rundown of our favorites.
Whoa.
It's really squishy.
Oh, that looks insane.
Like an alien. So it has a lot of seeds. This is from the same family as the soursop. So it's good for cancer as well. This one is called anon.
Whoa.
Tomato.
Yeah.
It's going to be really acid. The same as the guava, one bit first. Okay?
Yeah,
Start.
very, very acidic.
Does it taste like a tomato?
Very, like, if it wasn't acidic, it would taste like a tomato, but like with the acidity, like an acidic kiwi. Yeah.
An acidic kiwi. Good description. A bloody tomato. It's interesting.
Whoa.
Really tomato.
I've never had anything like that.
Tomato but not tomato.
Tomato, but not tomato, yeah.
You see the crown of thorns?
Juicy. Oh my god.
Exactly. Juicy. Better.
Usually I think when things are super bitter or sour, they're not ripe, but it still tastes really ripe.
See, the same components. This one usually doesn't need sugar.
Kind of the same flavors, but way more sweet. Yeah.
Called granadilla. Granadilla is usually the fruit that moms give to kids to take into school because it's really good for the stomach, is resistant, and is going to be sweet. Kids always find funny ways to do things now. So the way we open it,
Oh my god.
we crack it in the head. There you have it.
Ooh,
That one's super alien.
It's super alien.
Looks like fish eggs.
A little bit.
The texture is almost kind of like a jello, like gelatinous.
Vasito natural.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Enjoy it.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
It's good, no?
That's so good.
¿Cómo es que se llama esa naranja?
Salustiana.
Sagustiana.
Salud.
Salustiana.
Wow.
So good.
Good.
Really good, right?
Really good.
Is it juicy as orange?
Now, give it to Jorge. Jorge is going to blend it.
Jorge topped off our fruit market experience. Truly everything here was amazing, but I need some protein.
It's called lechona.
Lechona.
Lechona? Lechona. Okay, try it. It's good, huh? This dish, I found out this yesterday. It was scored as the best pork dish in the world. So what we do is that we take all the flesh out, we cook it with rice, with chickpeas, and with different condiments. And then we make like a lasagna inside of the pig. You can see this is the pig, and put it in the oven. So it has all the fat from the skin. The best part of the lechona is of course the skin, and it's really crunchy.
Well, I think we can check eating local food off our list.
See, here's what I love about this tour. Instead of like set places we go to, I was just like, what's that game they play here in Colombia that like with the explosives and stuff? She's like, oh yeah, you wanna go play? I was like, yeah, sure. So we're gonna get some bikes and then go play with some explosives.
We used the 10BC apps to grab our bikes, which is essentially Colombia's version of Lime, Bird, or Spin in the US. Our quick bike tour around the city cost around $4. A lot cheaper than a taxi, honestly. Maybe a little faster with how backed up the traffic looked around here.
Well, that was a good way to burn off all that food. Now we're gonna walk the rest of the way.
So as you saw at the beginning of the video, we booked this trip thanks to FareDrop, which is easily our favorite tool as budget travelers to make sure that we're getting the best deals on flights. And one thing that we particularly love about FareDrop is that you still book directly with the airline, not a third-party booking platform. There we go. For example, for this trip, we were notified of a flight deal to Bogota on Delta Airlines. So once we were notified, we were redirected to Delta to book directly with them. Now, of course, some of the best flight deals are going to be on budget airlines, and we know that's not everyone's jam. But for you FareDrop Pro Plan users out there, you can easily customize your deal settings to opt out of budget airlines, flights with layovers, and more. Scan this QR code or head to the link in our description to start saving money on your next flight.
Steel projectiles, gunpowder, and lots of beer. It sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? But in fact, they are the components to play Tejo.
Tejo is the national sport in Colombia, so it's probably more controlled. At least my understanding is it's more controlled. And they use very minimum amount of gunpowder, just enough to make it go bang.
I have no idea what to expect.
The origin of this game is from our indigenous communities. They used to play something similar to this when they were going to trade different things between different indigenous communities. With time, the game started to evolve until a point where it's going to involve gunpowder. When that happened, it's going to become also a drinking game for Colombians. We have a court. All of that court is full with clay. All of this is clay. In the middle, we have a metal ring, you can see here. These are the envelopes with the gunpowder. Put it here is to put it here. And we are going to throw the metal disc that they are going to give us here. What we want to have fun is to make this explode, no? At the end is to make points. So you have different ways to make points. So let's select the Tejo, and then I explain you the point. A mí también me gusta pesadito, no tan pesadito, pero pesadito. So everything is by weight. No? Okay. The Tejo that you select is the one that you will keep. Okay. You want the Tejo to be heavy, not as lighter. Okay? ¿Este para quién lo es? ¿Para él? Para él. So he's saying this one may be for you?
Nah, but
Para él, para ella. Because Anthony Bourdain came to Colombia, he played it. So since he did it,
well, if Anthony Bourdain played, we gotta play. But let me explain the point system while we start.
Get the pro to show us how to do it. Oh, he's standing way far back.
Around the ring are these pouches that look like paper footballs, and they're filled with gunpowder. They're called mecha. Hit one of these and you'll gain 3 points. And you'll know when you hit one too. There's no mistaking that. If no one hits a mecha, the closest disc on the board gets 1 point. Land a bullseye, you get 6 points. Hit a mecha and land a bullseye, and you get a maximum of 9 points. Aleja already seems like a pro, but Sarah and I started off very poorly. Well, mostly just me.
I'm really terrible right now. I think the key is just to drink more, and as I drink more, maybe I'll get a little bit better.
This might be the most authentic Colombian experience we've had, but don't take this as a sign to go out and play with gunpowder. These folks who run these facilities are pros.
As you can see, we got demolished. I came in second, not by much. It is like cornhole in the sense that you got to kind of find your form and you find your groove. I think by the end I was starting to hit a couple more and it felt a lot better. How do you feel?
really good.
That was very fun, but I'm very bad.
You want to play some more?
Maybe another time. I think maybe if I drink more, then I'll be a better
that's what I
Tejo
said
player.
too. Yeah, stuff definitely can't leave this without being clean.
While not something we originally had as one of our goals, we did make a friend in LA this week, so I'll write that in. Tejo altogether cost us 63,000 pesos.
Well, that was amazing. That was the way to go, because it really was just like having a little Bogota bestie for the entire day. We spent $64, not including our Ubers. I'll calculate our total of what we spent throughout the whole day. But we did a lot, and I think a lot that we wouldn't have done just on our own. But we're gonna call it because I think it's gonna start to rain. We'll see you later.
sculpture, rock, Florence Italy, and Monserrate will enjoy the best of Colombian and international history.
Well, we already know that Bogota is beautiful from the street level, so now we knew we had to see it from up high, and the best spot to do that is Monserrate Hill, which is where we are now. We rode the funicular up and we got round trip tickets. It was 59,000 Colombian pesos, which equates to like $7 USD. You can buy your tickets directly at the ticket office, or you can buy them in advance online. We just bought them at the ticket office. There was a super short line, it moved really fast. Now they really kind of pack in like sardines on that funicular, so just be aware of that, but I'm sure there's great views throughout the whole car. There are 3 different ways to get up here: funicular, cable car, and walking. Personally, walking sounds terrible because Bogota is already high in elevation and you're just going up even higher. Aleja yesterday told us that if you ever get lost in Bogota, the best way to orient yourself is with this mountain, because it can kind of tell you where you are directionally off of that.
When you have your mountains in front of you, to your left is going to be north, and to your right is going to be south. Calles are the ones that goes from north to south.
When you get to the top of the hill, there are a few things you can do here. You can go to the church or walk along the hiking trails, for example.
The view up here is incredible. On one side, you have the entire city of Bogota, and on the other side is like these mist-covered mountains. Of course, with that comes a little bit of rain, so it's starting to rain a little bit right now. But there are a lot of things you can do up here. There's a walking trail, there's the sanctuary. I think there's a couple fancy restaurants that are way out of our budget. We instead opted to get some coffee since there's a coffee shop right here. We got a couple of cappuccinos and 2 arepas con queso, and my lens is getting wet right now, so I'm gonna put it away before my camera gets too soaked.
Here I am talking about how expensive some of these restaurants look, and Sarah's over here becoming a celebrity. These kids came up to us while we were filming, and even though there was a little bit of a language barrier, they seemed really interested in what we thought of their country.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Bye.
Colombia, yes.
Yes.
Well, we didn't eat up the mountain, but we did head to a restaurant that Aleja recommended yesterday, and it is like half a block away from where we're staying, which is great. So we got a couple of things that she had recommended. I think I might have double ordered one of the dishes on accident because I didn't quite understand what he was saying, but we have our own nice private room here, which I love.
Tiny staircase.
New location unlocked. Our waiter Diego showed us an entire 3rd floor of this, and the views are incredible. And there's not a lot of people here at the restaurant today, so we have now this whole floor to ourselves. I believe a lula is one of the guavas we had at the fruit market. So this is the juice, and you can see all of the chonkies. We have some empanadas with con carne y papas. Meat and tomatoes, potatoes, meat and potatoes. Empanadas might be a favorite food.
So I cheated a little bit and had like this bit of the bread. It is so good. It is amazing. I know this is gonna be really good. How big a bite should I take? Wow. Didn't expect it to be as full as it is. It is plantains. And then the bread is amazing. It's like a sweet bun with a little crispiness on the outside.
Holy, that tastes like a dessert. It is so good. Holy cow.
The food is so good here. We ordered more. We got the maritas, which is like the plantains with pork and something else inside of it.
Wow. It's like a fried dough ball with pork bits in it. It's so good.
This was surprisingly not as expensive as I thought it'd be. It's 73,000. Not bad.
That was delicious, but the rain is coming down a little bit now, so we are going to walk to, I think, a museum of a local artist. The good thing about the neighborhood that we're staying in is there's a lot going on like around it, but number one Bogota tip, weather is unpredictable, so bring an umbrella or a rain jacket.
For now, we're going to head to the Botero Museum, but I need to change so that the rain doesn't ruin my clothes.
Is that my shirt? This one kind of looks like John Candy. So the Botero Museum houses works from famous author Fernando Botero. You may famously know him for his plus-size sculptures and paintings. The museum is free and it's in this beautiful colonial building.
That was a great little detour this afternoon, and it was free, and I like free. But this is also a really great place to maybe escape the rain for an hour or so in the afternoon.
Our first 2 days in Bogota have been nothing short of amazing, and we still have 1 day left.
Well, it's our last day in Bogota. Really, it's like a half day because we have a flight to catch, but we're gonna try to explore the plaza and then maybe walk around a little bit because we figured out a little hack on how to drink this chocolate milk.
We wanted to find another coffee shop because we needed to redeem ourselves with the chocolate, because Aleja told us the correct way you're supposed to eat it, which the first day, if you remember, we just got a block of cheese and we're like, well, that's kind of weird. Aleja told us you're supposed to put the cheese in the chocolate and then it kind of melts, and then once you drink the chocolate, it's like goopy at the bottom and then you eat that, which is a lot. I hope Tony took a lactate. So this is the chocolate. It's a chocolate Santa Fareno. So the chocolate drinks here really come with like kind of a meal. There's like 2 biscuits and then of course the block of cheese. Can't say I've ever done that before. So funny because when Aleja was explaining the process, she was like, yeah, you just, you take the cheese and you put it in the chocolate and then you drink it and then at the end you eat the cheese. And I was like, oh, so do you do that with coffee too? And she's like, no, that'd be too much. I was like, that's the cutoff, is the cheese and the coffee. Just like a warm string consistency of a string cheese. I thought I would dislike it. I don't dislike it, but I don't know if I need it as a part of my day.
Our 2 chocolate Santa Farenos cost 26,000 pesos.
This street is a lot busier today than it was the other day. There are so many people out. There's llamas. There's like 6 or 7 llamas just roaming around the streets. We are on our way to the plaza, and this is supposed to be like a really historical center in the heart of Bogota.
So this is Plaza Bolívar. It is very busy. There is beautiful architecture all around and probably 4,000 pigeons just in this area, and maybe an equal amount of vendors trying to get you to get your shoes clean, get the photos with the pigeons, pet the llama, you name it.
Papaya.
Look at you giving papaya. You give papaya. It is very beautiful. I do wish there were less pigeons. I don't know if I've announced this. I am afraid of birds. I think it's getting better, but it's not a creature I typically enjoy. It's my worst nightmare. So I'd like it more if there were less, but this is their home, not mine, so I'm not gonna kick them out. Not only did we check a lot of things off our list, I think we also made some new friends out of this trip. So yeah. I'm very excited to return to Bogota. I'm even more excited to explore more of Colombia. And Bogota is one of those places that I constantly see on my FareDrop dashboard. So don't skip over it the next time you see a flight deal pop up. economy class hall, pimple patch not included.
Do you want me? How do I stop it?
Or do you want me to keep on recording? What do you want me to do?
I got it.
Food's so good here. God. The food is so good here, we ordered mood. We got mood?
No, we ordered